Tonight on Texas News Primetime. The University of Texas tower restoration process begins in November.
The head coach of Austin FC has been fired.
Today marks 1 year since the start of the Israel-Hamas war.
The Austin City Limits Festival kicked off this past weekend.
Vice President Kamala Harris joins Call Her Daddy podcast as the guest for this week's episode. This is Texas News Primetime.
News made for Longhorns.
Good evening. For Monday, October 7th, I'm Aneesh Tiwari.
And I'm Emmie Adams. Thank you for joining us tonight.
One of UT Austin's most iconic symbols, the UT Tower, will go under construction beginning in November. The restoration process is expected to last through the summer of 2027. Students weighed in with opinions on the construction's upcoming commencement, particularly the effect it will have on graduation photos.
I understand it's kind of a necessity that they have to do it, but it is really frustrating, especially for graduates that are graduating within the next few years, because it's such an iconic part of graduation pictures, and also just for people visiting UT, it's a pretty iconic part, so I feel like they're taking away a big part, but I do understand it's a necessity.
With cold and flu season in full swing, University Health Services is up and running with its Fall 2024 flu vaccination clinic. These clinics are available on campus at Gregory Gym, Pickle Campus, the Student Services Building, and the UT School of Nursing. Walk-ins are welcome, but students may also schedule an appointment online. Bring your UT ID and appointment QR code to show upon arrival. UT did not have a grand enough vision for the college, end quote, according to an email obtained by the Austin American-Statesman. Hartzell later emailed Quola faculty confirming the end of Stevens' tenure and commending her leadership. This news follows multiple changes in leadership at UT, including police chief and university provost. Stevens' term as dean of Quola ends next August.
Lime, an electric scooter and e-bike company, has taken extra measures to ensure that they are prepared for Austin City Limits, which kicked off this weekend. The company has redistributed their scooters and e-bikes across Austin in hopes to meet the high demands of ACL crowds. Additionally, Lime has set up a tent along Loomy Road, where they will provide free helmets and parking information to concertgoers. These tactics seek to combat the 200% increase in ridership that has occurred previously during events such as ACL and South by Southwest. Austin FC coach Josh Wolf has been fired after the team's second consecutive year not making it to the Major League Soccer playoffs. Wolf was hired in 2019 and took the team to the 2022 Western Conference Final. However, Austin has not made playoffs in 3 out of 4 of Wolf's years coaching the team. Wolf's record was made of 45 wins, 60 losses, and 30 draws in MLS season matches. An interim manager will serve as the coach for Austin's final game against Colorado on October 19th. Austin police officer Christopher Taylor was found guilty of deadly conduct in the fatal 2019 shooting of Maurice De Silva. This verdict marks the first time in Travis County that an officer has been convicted for misconduct during an on-duty shooting. The incident occurred on July 31st, 2019, as police were called to a downtown Austin condominium where Taylor, a 10-year veteran of the Austin Police Department, responded alongside other officers. During the trial, the defense argued that he had acted in accordance with police training, while the prosecution focused on the unnecessary use of lethal force. Taylor's attorneys recommended probation during sentencing, but no date has been set for the decision.
Attorney General Ken Paxton sued TikTok on Thursday for selling and sharing the personal information of minors using the app. Paxton claims TikTok is violating the Securing Children Online Through Parental Empowerment Act, a new law meant to protect personal information of children across social media platforms. A TikTok spokesperson has denied the allegations, claiming that TikTok does not sell personal information. Paxton's Consumer Protection Division is seeking $10,000 per violation, as well as attorney fees. A content creator was arrested in Dallas on Tuesday for the murder of a Baton Rouge counselor. Terrion Thomas, known by his social media handle Mr. Prada, has a following of over 4.4 million on TikTok. Police found Thomas sitting on a bench in downtown Dallas and took him into custody. His victim is 69-year-old William Nicholas Abraham, who was found September 29th, rolled up in a comforter and taped up inside a tarp in Tangipahoa, Louisiana. Thomas was seen in surveillance footage driving Abraham's car, leading to his arrest. The TikToker now faces a second-degree murder charge, as well as charges of resisting an officer, aggravated criminal damage to property, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Midnight tonight is the voter registration deadline for this year's general elections here in Texas. For those who have registered early, voting in Texas runs from Monday, October 21st to Friday, November 1st. When going to the polls, Texans are required to present a form of photo ID, which can include a Texas driver's license, United States passport, or military or personal ID. 2 polling places are active on UT's campus this year, those being the Texas Student Union and the LBJ School of Public Affairs. For a complete list of acceptable IDs you can use to vote in this year's election, or to register to vote before tonight's midnight deadline, go to the Texas Secretary of State's website at votetexas.gov.
Hurricane Milton has strengthened to a Category 5 hurricane and is expected to make landfall on the west coast of Florida midweek. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis urges residents of Hillsborough County, which includes Tampa, to evacuate and move inland. He offers that residents move inland instead of attempting the hours-long drive out of the range of impact. As a result of Milton's expected path, SpaceX and NASA have postponed the launch of the Europa Clipper mission, which was set to launch on Thursday and investigate one of Jupiter's moons. The Menendez brothers case has regained media attention following the hit show Monsters on Netflix, as we discussed last week. The show covers the 1989 double homicide of Jose and Kitty Menendez, who were shot by their 2 sons, Eric and Lyle. With the new Netflix show and the documentary released today, people across social media have been heavily invested in the case. Kim Kardashian has even put out a statement after her visit with the brothers, stating that she hopes the brothers are freed and that they deserve justice. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office announced Thursday that they have now received new evidence that may help the Menendez brothers' defense. The evidence will be brought up in a hearing on November 29th. A number of decisions regarding abortion rights have been issued today. On Monday, the Supreme Court of the United States declined hearing arguments on an appeal on a January ruling which stated hospitals here in Texas cannot be required to provide abortions, even in cases of the mother's life being in danger. Also earlier today, the Supreme Court of the state of Georgia overruled a lower court's decision which found the state's near-total abortion ban unconstitutional. Abortion in the state of Georgia has been illegal since the overturning of Roe v. Wade in 2022 and was briefly legal again following the lower court's decision last Monday. Following the state court's overruling, abortion is once again banned past the 6-week mark, a period in which most women are not aware they are pregnant.
Claudia Sheinbaum was inaugurated on October 1st as Mexico's first female and Jewish president. A member of Mexico's leftist Moreno party, and educated with a PhD in energy engineering, Sheinbaum is a recipient of a Nobel Peace Prize for her work with the United Nations panel of climate scientists. Sheinbaum's policies include elderly care, the expansion of renewable energy and green technology, and the creation of a new intelligence agency. Her inauguration follows the recent decision of her predecessor, President López Obrador, to remove all judges from office and call for a complete judicial reform. On the 1-year anniversary of October 7, 2023, when the terrorist organization Hamas attacked Israel, war continues to rage in the Middle East. Following Hamas's surprise attack that killed 1,200, Israel responded by declaring war on Hamas and has been fighting in the region since. Israel's response has killed over 41,000 people and displaced almost 2 million, according to the Associated Press. TSTV's Audrey Wong sat down with Professor Ahmad Akbaria. Professor Akbaria teaches courses at UT on the history of Israel and Palestine, the Arab-Israeli conflict, and coexistence in the Levant. He reflects on the events of the last year as a Palestinian Israeli who grew up in the midst of the conflict.
I'm afraid we are going to all-out war between Israel and Iran, two major powers in the Middle East, and the prospect that they will clash perhaps very soon is very demoralizing.
Organizations held events today to mark the anniversary. Longhorn Students for Israel held a Together We Stand event to honor those killed and taken hostage on October 7, 2023. The Palestine Solidarity Committee is having a week of action for the people of Gaza. They began today with a steady-in along Speedway. TSTV News spoke with a student in attendance who spoke about the last year of war and the student response.
We're just basically here to show that, no matter how long it goes on, no matter how long they try to censor or to put down justice, that justice will always prevail. And we're here to show that the struggle continues, that for justice, for truth, for peace, for love, these kinds of things, it continues always. And the student involvement and the student movement is a big part of that as well.
Iran has lifted flight restrictions as of Sunday night, following flight conditions being deemed safe once again. This comes after all flights out of Iranian airports were canceled Tuesday, following an Iranian airstrike on neighboring Israel, upon which Israel vowed a response. Iranian officials reportedly told Reuters these flights were canceled due to operational restrictions, with no further details given. When we come back, Mark Zuckerberg is now the second richest person in the world. PrimeTime will be right back.
Of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore, seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue? Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket launched the European Space Agency's Hera spacecraft from NASA's Florida Space Force Station yesterday. The Hera planetary defense probe began its multi-million-mile mission to Dimorphos, an asteroid that was knocked off orbit by a previous NASA mission in 2022. The ESA's probe will measure the asteroid's new orbit to ensure that its trajectory doesn't hit Earth. The Hera probe is scheduled to arrive at its destination in late 2026. Mark Zuckerberg is now officially the second richest person in the world, passing former CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. The Meta CEO's net worth rose to over $206 billion last week. The tech giant Meta, who owns and operates Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and other platforms, reached record-high shares Thursday. Zuckerberg only trails Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk as world's richest person.
Thanks, McKenna, for bringing us up to date on the world of STEM and business. Campus Events and Entertainment will be hosting Noche Caliente this week. Can you catch us up on life and arts news?
Thanks, Aneesh. Come dance the night away at Noche Caliente. Campus Events and Entertainment will be hosting this baile-inspired celebration on Wednesday in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. Noche Caliente will take place in the William C. Powers Student Activity Center Ballroom from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The celebration will feature a live DJ, Hispanic music, mocktails, and prize giveaways. This event is free to attend with your UT ID. The Austin Zoo will be hosting their Boo at the Zoo event every Friday and Saturday night through the month of October. This family-friendly event features a haunted train ride, haunted mansion animal shows, and more. Guests of all ages are encouraged to dress up in Halloween costumes. Tickets are $22 each and can be purchased at austinzoo.org. The Austin City Limits Festival kicked off in Zilker Park, and music lovers from all over came out for weekend one. TSTV spoke with concert goers about their outfits and their favorite artists.
Hey y'all, we're out here weekend one, day 2 of ACL. We're gonna talk with some festive goers about who they're excited to see, their outfits, and all the details. Let's take a look. And who am I here with today?
Blake.
Who are you most excited to see today, Blake?
Teddy Swims.
I love Teddy Swims. What is your favorite song?
Devil in a Dress.
Love it. And I see you're matching with your mom. Where'd y'all get this outfit from?
Amazon.
I love it. It's a great option. Well, have so much fun this weekend.
Yeah. Thank you.
And who are you most excited to see today, Lindsay?
Renee Rapp.
Favorite song?
Snow Angel.
We have a couple more concert goers out here. Introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Caro.
Hey, I'm Matthias. I'm Malte.
My name is Jonas.
And where are you guys from?
Germany.
Denmark.
Denmark.
And y'all traveled all the way here for ACL?
Yes.
Of course. I love Dua Lipa.
Sure, yeah. No. Exchange student.
Yeah, exchange student.
So is this your first time at ACL?
Yes. And the last time.
We're actually volunteering, all of us.
Volunteering?
Yes.
Awesome, that's great. Who are y'all most excited to see this weekend?
I would say Vince Staples.
Vince Staples and Dua Lipa. Are y'all here all weekend long?
Just Saturday for us, so just today.
No, just today. Tell us about your outfits. I'm loving it.
Oh yeah, I got this top on Etsy, so it's crocheted by somebody, and then this is just from Target. So yeah, nothing too crazy.
And what about you?
My brother works for a thrift store, so I got these two from there, and then this is a different thrift store, and then shoes that are a little too big on me.
Well, thank you so much. Have a great time this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Tune in for more ACL content on Good Morning Longhorns this Wednesday at 7 a.m., as well as on our website and social media.
When we come back, Texas volleyball is 4-0 for Press Box on PrimeTime. We'll be right back.
"13 of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore, seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue? Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Welcome back to Primetime. There were some major upsets this past weekend in college football. Campbell Choate has the latest for Press Box on Primetime. How are you doing today, Campbell?
I'm doing great. I mean, come back from Saturday watching all that football. I'm in a good mood to just sit down and chill for a little bit.
The State Fair will turn into a clash of crimson and burnt orange this weekend, with the first ever SEC Red River rivalry. Both teams return to conference play after their bye week, but Texas returns to the #1 in the AP poll. What on earth happened this weekend in college football?
Yeah, if you took a quick glance at this past weekend's schedule, you may have been prepared for a pretty chill weekend on Saturday, like I was. Texas and Oklahoma entered the bye week to prepare for the Red River rivalry. Oregon played an unranked Michigan State. Ohio State faced Iowa, and Georgia will play a 2-3 Auburn. But turns out this week will be the most entertaining week of college football so far. A #1 Alabama falls to unranked Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt's first win against Bama since 1984. The Commodores went into Saturday's game with 60 straight top 5 losses, but came out with a 40-35 win and their 19th win against the Tide since 1903. And those goalposts found their way down Broadway, but have been retrieved from the Cumberland River. Arkansas came back from their loss against Texas A&M in Week 5 to upset #4 Tennessee. The Razorbacks rally in the fourth quarter, put up 9, and win at 19-4. Now, speaking of A&M, they beat #9 Mizzou 41-10. They'll move up to #15, and Mizzou falls to 21. Saturday night gave football fans a rematch of the national championship, but this time Washington wins 27-17. USC falls to Minnesota 24-17, with Minnesota catching an interception in the last play of the game. SMU realigned to the ACC this year, and they'll go into Week 7 at #25 after they beat Louisville 34-27. That's 6 top 25 upsets on Saturday, and Texas is now the only undefeated team in the SEC, and they'll move to #1 because basically they didn't get upset just in time for the 120th matchup of the Red River rivalry.
Texas continues to be on top, with Texas volleyball first in the SEC. The Longhorns will be off this week, but have 2 big conference games coming up. How'd Texas volleyball pick up 2 more wins?
Yeah, Texas volleyball is 4-0 after sweeping both South Carolina and Florida. The Longhorns hosted the Gamecocks on Wednesday, but that basically be the only niceties they give them. Jenna Winnis led with 13 kills, and Mariana Singletary continues to dominate the net, leading with 8 blocks. Texas then traveled to the Swamp to play #18 Florida, but they'll sweep them too. Maddie Skinner had 12 kills, and Singletary would record her season best of 10 blocks. Texas also had a hitting average of .364 against South Carolina and .333 against Florida. Texas still has some tough games ahead of them, though, playing Kentucky on the 13th and Arkansas on the 18th. Kentucky is ranked at 13, and Arkansas has been on a hot streak, but luckily Texas will have some time to plan with their bye week this week.
And how are the Texans and Cowboys doing in Week 5?
Yeah, the Texans now lead the AFC South after their win against the Bills on Sunday. The Texans put up 14 in the fourth quarter, Cam Akers with a 15-yard touchdown and a 67-yard pass from C.J. Stroud to Nico Collins. They'll stay ahead of the Bills until the third quarter and end up winning 23-20. The Cowboys are 3-2 after a rain delay in Pittsburgh, and they'll put up 14 for the win in the fourth quarter with a 22-yard touchdown to Dowdle and a 4-yard touchdown to Tolbert. They'll win 20-17. The Cowboys are the second in the NFC East behind the Washington Commanders. Now the Texans play the Patriots at noon on Sunday, and the Cowboys play in Arlington against the Lions at 3:25. And right now for Monday Night Football, the Chiefs are up 16-7 against the Saints.
Thanks for your insight, Campbell. Coming up, actor Robert Downey Jr. made his Broadway debut. Primetime will be right back with the story.
Thirteen of the 48 club sports offered by the university now require students to submit proof of sex assigned at birth.
I know deep down they would probably want to stay with the university.
No way in hell anybody's going to tell my daughters what to do with their bodies.
This state is one of the worst in child education.
We can't take it anymore seeing those scenes.
Going to Hillel on Friday night, all my family members kept texting me not to go.
There's a huge housing crisis in Austin. Do you have a plan in place to address this issue? Determined to start your day well? We're up bright and early. From the enriching local stories to the weather forecast later in the day. Rain or shine, at Good Morning Longhorns, we got you covered. Comprised of a studious reporting staff going lengths to get that scoop, and a talented technical team to enhance your screen visually. As a fellow Longhorn, your mornings are better with us. So start your day the Vivo way. Good Morning Longhorns, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Central Time on TSTV.
Welcome back. Childish Gambino cancels the remaining shows of his tour. Trent Lambs joins us now to spill the tea. How are you doing today, Trent?
I'm doing great. It's always great to be here. Musician Donald Glover, also known as Childish Gambino, announced this week that he is canceling the remaining shows of his tour in North America and Europe. Glover shared on X that he has a surgery scheduled and needs time to heal. The details of his medical condition remain unclear. Glover was scheduled to perform at the Moody Center in Austin on September 12th. The show was originally postponed, followed by the cancellation of the tour on Friday.
And how did you react to this news?
You know, I was a little sad. I wanted to go to this tour. I was probably going to buy tickets last minute, but I hope he's doing great. In other news, on the most recent episode of the podcast Call Her Daddy, host Alex Cooper interviewed the current Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. The conversation was centered on reproductive rights, with Harris discussing abortion access in the country and her beliefs regarding this issue. Harris spoke on the importance of women's rights and urged people to vote in this election. The podcast also covered Harris's ongoing fight for student debt relief. Cooper had 40 minutes to interview the vice president in Washington, D.C. The episode was released on October 6, 2024.
What do you think of Harris going on this podcast?
You know, I think it's a smart move. A lot of young voters are definitely listening in, and it's a great way for her to get her message out there. And lastly, actor Robert Downey Jr. made his Broadway debut last Monday with the play McNeil. Downey portrays the lead character Jacob McNeil, a morally ambiguous man who struggles with decisions related to artificial intelligence throughout the play. Critics claim the role is difficult and, quote, feel Downey straining to justify McNeil without softening him, end quote. The show will be shown at Vivian Beaumont Theater in Manhattan from September 30th to November 24th.
And what are your opinions from what you've heard about this play?
You know, I think the show kind of exemplifies everything wrong with Broadway this season. I think we're prioritizing stunt casting over a well-done script. It seems like Robert Downey Jr. is just there to make the producers money instead of telling a good story.
Well, that's your Monday briefing. I'm Aneesh Tiwari.
And I'm Emmie Adams. From all of us at TSTV News, thank you for watching.
Now go out and change your world.